In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the house of Matiere Premier and my experience in the event run by at Harrods. If this is something that you are interested in finding out, please continue watching. Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time tuning in, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Orlando, and in today's video I am talking about the house Matiere Premier. And I went to this event at Harrods. That was the other event that I booked, as well as the one from BDK, and this was the Matiere Premier event, which was basically the honor of, or the founder of Matiere Premier, Aurélien Guichard, and who is also the perfumer for this house. So this event was really magnificent. Not only we got to meet the perfumer, but also um, the fabulous Alice Duparc was there kind of in conversation with the perfumer, and we got to know quite a lot about this house, which I already liked it, but after this event I like it even more because it was so nice to find out how the fragrances are constructed, and also where the ingredients come from and things like that. So let me just start by showing you this. This is like a little kind of like a little, it's not a book, but it's like 2 pages where you have all the some of the fragrances there. So they kind of just been sprayed in these paper strips, and we were given this, and also we got to try some of the raw ingredients. Specifically, my favorite was rose centifolia, which is actually grown on the Matiere Premier farm in Grasse, France. So yeah, it was really interesting because there are different kinds of. We got to understand and found out that there are different kinds of roses. There's rose or damask rose, which is like the same as Turkish rose or um, Bulgarian rose, and there's also rose centifolia, which is the one grown in grass in Matiere Premier farm. It's not only grown there, but in that farm, but it's for the perfumes for Matiere Premier. That's where the ingredient comes from. So rose centifolia is also the called Rose de May, and the reason it's called Rose de May is because it's picked. They picked the roses in May. The thing about Matiere Premier and the perfumes is they're kind of built around an ingredient. For example, the Radical Rose, the perfume Radical Rose was built around rose centifolia. So it's built around this note. So it's the most prominent note, or that's what he uses, and then he builds the fragrance around it. But there's a lot more to it. Wonderful, kind of warm, spicy, slightly woody, and so it's built around this rose centifolia. But then it's got a lot more to it, like patchouli, saffron. It's got this kind of leathery note as well, which I think is coming from the labdanum. So it's really rich and it's rich, slightly dark, and a wonderful rose. I mean, smelling the rose centifolia on its own was quite incredible, but then smelling the fragrance that was created around that, it's just amazing. Really wonderful fragrance, and one that I did not pay much attention to before, but now it's like It's in my wish list. It's a really nice one. Really, really enjoy that. So we got to try that, and then also tuberose, and the tuberose was the main note around the fragrance called French flower. And there are two types of tuberose in there. So there is a tuberose absolute, which is got like um, it's a more concentrated one, and then you also have tuberose enfleurage, which is grown also in Matiere Premier farms, and um, and that's much lighter, more white flowery smell. So the tuberose absolute is more kind of rich, kind of earthy green, kind of carnal. While the tuberose enfleurage is more like it's got like the flower um, element of it is what comes up more. So it's less concentrated than the absolute, and it's also in my opinion, a nicer taste, a nicer smell. Um, but then when you smell the French flower, which is a fragrance that was created around that, um, again, it's kind of a, I would say, it's an intoxicating fragrance. It's it's very kind of white flower, um, slightly powdery, slightly musky as well. Really an interesting one, and you can definitely smell the tuberose in it, and it's just really interesting. More, I would say that this one is more on the feminine side. I wouldn't probably wear it myself, but I find it to be a great fragrance, and having tried the raw materials as well, it's just makes it even more interesting. And then um, the development as well, and just a wonderful experience. Yeah, so that was French flower. Also, we got to try saffron oil from Greece, which is the ingredient, the main ingredient in crystal saffron, which is another kind of. This is a very kind of a slightly sweet, very prominent saffron note, which to me has kind of this reminiscence of a bit like Baccarat Rouge, but this fragrance is very different. So another very kind of interesting and really wonderful fragrance. Overall, I find the fragrances from this house to be quite refined, quite they're very interesting because they develop differently. So when the opening to the dry down, you kind of have this development. It's like an experience, and you can really smell the quality of the ingredients. They really smell very like expensive and of very good quality. In my opinion, and um, as I said, the fragrances are very refined, very um, classy, very elegant. I mean, amazing. So that was the kind of the overall experience of the event, and also I'll gonna tell you as well which are the well, first I'm going to show you the sizes that the fragrances come in. So you have the 100 mils, which is something like this, and you also have um, the 50 mil, just for comparison there. It's focusing now. And you also have this little ones which are 6 mil, and they're so cute. They just come in this kind of 6 mil travel sizes, which is ideal if you'd like to try the house. It's quite a nice size to get, and they also have samples, obviously. So yeah, I'm also gonna in this video I'm gonna tell you which ones are my favorites. I think there are at least here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 in here. And I think they have others that are kind of exclusives, such as Oud 7, I think is an exclusive to Harrods. But anyway, so I'm just going to tell you which ones are my favorites. And I've got 5 that are my favorites. So I would say at my 5th spot will be Crystal Saffron. So again, I've talked about this one before. This is built around saffron, sweet saffron, woody, slightly spicy as well. Fragrance that is totally unisex and really nice. And I think this will layer quite well with my next one, which is Radical Rose. Radical Rose, I have to say, one of the nicest rose fragrances I've ever tried. Really beautiful. It's a nice kind of warm, spicy, earthy rose with patchouli, this leathery undertone. Really, really interesting. Really like this fragrance. That's Radical Rose at my number 4th place. At number 3rd place, I would go with Anson Suave. I think this is one of the brand's bestseller, and for a good reason. This is a wonderful incense-based fragrance. So you have this kind of it's very sweet as well. So it's rich, sweet, because it's got loads of vanilla, and it's got it's kind of a sweet incense. It's kind of a churchy incense. So it's got notes of coffee, incense, vanilla, benzoin. So the vanilla and benzoin give its sweetness and this kind of a warmth to this fragrance. Really beautiful. So at my 3rd spot is Anson Suave. And my 2nd spot, I would go with Bois de Ben. And Bois de Ben is a woody fragrance. So it's built around Gaiac wood, and this has got like it, to me at least, is very woody, very kind of dry, but then it's got this sweetness and also something powdery about it. I think iris is not mentioned as a note in this fragrance, but I think it's got iris in it because I get this powdery iris note in it, and this really wonderful. As I said, this is a very kind of refined, elegant fragrance that I think is just wonderful. Again, totally unisex and really an amazing fragrance. It's my number 2 spot is Bois de Ben, and my number 1 spot, I'll go with Falcon Leather. And Falcon Leather is, to me, the best leather fragrance I've tried, period. It's just really wonderful. So it starts with a very kind of birch tar, kind of rubbery almost, very dark leather accord fragrance, and then it's there is a sweetness that comes in afterwards, and I think I think there's some, maybe some, a bit of vanilla, some amber, some benzoin, which gives this fragrance this kind of a sweet, leathery dry down that it's to die for. I mean, really wonderful. The dry down of this fragrance is so, so nice. Um, Incredible. And that's why it's at my number one spot, because it's definitely my favorite. I really enjoy this. Yeah, so that is my five most favorites from the South. Of course, there's a lot others that I would probably add to my collection that I'd like to try as well, because I think they overall wonderful. They also last a very long time, at least on my skin. The ones I've tried, they last a very long time. They project really nicely as well, especially Radical Rose. It's a big projector. Crystal Saffron, uh, Falcon Leather, that really good quality, long lasting, and they project quite a lot. So they are really incredible fragrances, in my opinion. So that is it. So, guys, please tell me in the comments down below if you have tried any of the of fragrances from the South, or and let me know which ones are your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it, and also please consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.